Hello guys, I'm Marcin from Equip. In this video I'm going to show you step by step how to make a Tiltrak 1000 one-way cord operated system. The very first step on making 1000 Tiltrak system cord operated one-way is to determine how many runners we'll need for the blind. I've got my headrail and rod ready here. And now I'm gonna find out how many runners we'll need for the blind. And it's very easy to do so. Basically what we need to do now is to spread the runners alongside the headrail or the tilt rod. And now we can clearly see how many runners we'll need for it. Now we need to detach an axis of runners and put cord wave runner on the link on the very last runner here. And now we've got our runners ready. Now it all goes on the tilt rod like that. And the next step is to put the spacer tube on the tilt rod. And it goes on the left hand side of the tilt rod here. After we've got that on, we put the control end on the left hand side of the tilt rod, and it stays on it loose like that for now. And on the other side of the tilt rod, we put an idle end. Now we've got the runners and two plastic ends on the tilt rod. Then the next step is stringing the blind. The very first step in order to string the blind is to measure required length of the cord. And basically it is the length of the tilt rod plus the drop length. I'm gonna measure 1 meter here, and then you double that length over. One tip before we start fitting the cord for our ends and the runners, it's worth to melt the ends of the cord a little bit so they are a little bit harder and also pointy. It will help us to put the cord through the runners. What I'm doing now, I'm trying to turn the runners upside down so the holes on the runners are facing up, and then I feed the cord through the channel made of runners here, and now it goes all the way down. And I fit it through the outer hole or outer slot, if you like, on the ideal end, and then I fit the cord back in it. And now the cord goes through the hole on the cord wave runner here, and I tie a little knot, and it will secure this end of the cord on the cord drive runner. Now the other end of the cord goes through the opposite channel tunnel on the runners. So I fit it through all the runners down, and through a little hole on the cord drive runner. And likewise with the other end, the first end that we fed through the runners and the cord drive, I again tie a little knot on it. Okay, now I put the cord on the control end. Basically, it clips on it pretty easy. Okay, and now our runners are strung, and we can put it into the headrail. Need to make sure that our cord doesn't twist or tangle on it. Just make sure and just be careful with the cord. Okay. Now I've got the runners and the idle end on the in the headrail. Now we can put the control end on it, just like that. And now secure it by screwing little holes on the control end down. In the next step, I'm going to put the chain ready here, and firstly I need to measure it, and the size of the chain is the drop size, and for this blind here, the drop size is 1 meter. Remember, I measured the cord, the drop size of it to 1 meter, so I'm gonna measure it 1 meter. I'm gonna give, let's say, 50 mil extra, just in case we'll cut it off later on. Okay, then I double that length over, cut the chain, and then the chain goes on the chain wheel here, and then once we put the chain around the chain wheel, it slots into the control end here. Okay, once we've got it on, the next step is to secure the control end with a control end cover. Just gotta make sure that the chain doesn't come off the wheel as we put the cover on. Okay, got it on now. Now we can quickly check if the chain tilts the runners up and down like that. Okay, it works fine on this one. Now the next step is that we need to make sure that our first runner on the left hand side here is secured. This little plastic component here is called anchor, and it secures the runner, the first runner on our blind in place here, so it stays in place at all times. It's our stationary runner. Okay, now we can quickly test if the runners are moving up and down smooth enough. Yeah, they work very nice, very smooth, and that's what we need. Sometimes you need to double check that all the runners are nicely aligned here. Sometimes they tilt in the opposite sides and it doesn't look very nice. And in order to do that, you can pull the chain quite hard here, so it starts clicking. And try to do that in the opposite way as well, and it should make all the runners aligned. Okay, they all align nice, and they all looking nice now. So now the next step is just we need to cut the chain to the same size. To the same size as the cord. And to do that, it's just what we need to do is just to spread the chain and the cord out together, and use the length of our cord as a guide, and then trim the chain. And now to connect the chain, here I'm gonna use chain connector here. Okay, and the very last step is to put either perma-hold or cord weight on the bottom of the chain and the cord. I'm going to put a perma-hold on it here, and it's pretty easy to do. Just go to take perma-hold part like this, and then put the part without the springs on it on the cord and the chain. It's got two slots on it, the perma-hold has, and the smaller one is for the cord, and the bigger one is for the chain. And it goes inside of those holes like that, and then you put the perma-hold together like that, and it clicks in, It's on. Okay, so now our blind is done, and we can double check if it works fine, if it's smooth, and if it doesn't jam, if the runners are moving, are tilting smooth enough. Okay, this blind works perfectly in my opinion. And that's it. Our Tiltrak 1000 one-way cord operated blind is done.